Hello there, fast car enthusiasts. Welcome to Badass Speed. Les here, and this is my Badass Speed or Badass 2010 Supercharged Camaro. Previously owned by a guy by the name of Ric Flair, so this is the famous Ric Flair Camaro. And the video that I'm going to give you here today, and I'm just going to rattle off some of the things, but let's call this video the top 10 things that I love about my 2010 Badass Supercharged Camaro. And probably the word supercharged might tell you the very first thing that I love about this car. And I have owned a 2010 that was not supercharged, and the difference between the two is, you know, pretty much night and day. Pretty much night and day. This thing here, you can have an awful lot of fun, you know, due to the fact that you've got the supercharger in there, and it gives you the extra horsepower. It's got just about 600 horse to the wheel. Slightly under 600 horsepower to the wheel. I think it's pretty much a crank 650 horse with the supercharger in there. And it definitely is fun to drive, absolutely. You step a little bit too much on that gas pedal and she's spinning the wheels there, and there aren't too many cars around that can burn rubber like this thing can. Smoke show, yeah, that's definitely, you're definitely capable of doing a smoke show. By the way, I've got a few of my friends down here that have joined me for the video here. You can see them in the background there. And they're having fun out here, just kind of laying around a little bit, eating a bit of grass and stuff like that. So yeah, that supercharger is probably the number one thing. The fastness of the car, the speed, definitely pluses. Number two thing that I like is the handling. This thing here is low to the ground, just to show you how much that it's low to the ground. For example, here in between the wheel well and the fender here, I can just barely get one finger in here between that wheel and the wheel well. It's got Detroit suspension, so the car is being lowered, and of course that's also a minus there too, because if you hit a speed bump like in a parking lot or something like that, you have to go very, very slow over that very first speed bump with the front wheels, because she's going to be bottoming out. Must be hitting somewhere around, there's a beam there that that holds the transmission up, that I think hits if you're going a little bit too fast. But if you go slow over a standard speed bump, it's not a big deal. Likewise, going up a little bit of an incline, you got to be very careful not to hit that front spoiler here. So yeah, definitely the way the car handles is really, really nice. It goes really nice around corners. Set up here right now with 245, 275 tires. They're not sticky tires, so unfortunately it's not the best car for sticking to the road or going on the track. The other thing I like about the car is the way you're sitting in it when you're driving it. You're low to the ground, and you're actually a lot lower than a lot of other vehicles, and it's kind of fun to drive a car that's low to the ground. It's kind of gives you a little bit of a different perspective, and it's like driving a race car. Oh, did I say like driving a race car? I think it is driving a race car, because Camaros have always been known for their racing ability, and the ability to be able to take on those other pony cars and the Dodges and that kind of stuff. So yeah, the handling of the car is probably number two. Number three, I'd have to go with maybe what people say about the car. This is a 2010. This is 2016. This car is like 6 years old already, and I just bought this car just about a month ago. And the number of times that people walk up to you and or, you know, they'll give you a high five or whatever, or, you know, one of these things here on the road, you know, that sort of thing, where they're liking your car. People like the car. It's a real likable car. people come up to you and compliment you on your car all the time, and that's kind of nice to have a vehicle that it's almost like driving a Lamborghini or something. You get those kind of compliments about the car without having to spend the bucks that you would have to be driving a supercar. I kind of classify this as somewhat of a supercar, being supercharged and that sort of thing. So it's kind of handy in that respect. Number 4, I guess it's sort of in with the supercharger there, that the car is really fast, and it gives you a chance to take your car down to the quarter mile and race with some of the other guys with some of their fast cars, albeit, you know, unless you have really good tires, you're gonna have a bit of a problem hooking up. The biggest problem with these cars is hooking up, especially on the quarter mile. And unless you have drag strips or drag tires, you're gonna have trouble hooking up. Wow, what the heck is that thing? That's kind of a strange, very noisy motorbike. What did he do? Drill a hole in its exhaust pipe or something? It scared all of the geese away here. But being able to go down to the drag strip, I really like that about this car here, and to put in a pretty good performance and, you know, that sort of thing. Probably the number 4 thing I like about these cars, especially the Camaros, there's a number of bolt-on things that you can do to these cars to make them faster. You know, let's say that we didn't have the supercharger, you could bolt that on. You know, exhaust, you can put in high flow cats, put in an X pipe, you can put in different mufflers, put in like maybe 3-inch stainless pipes. Oh, you can put in a better air filter, high flow air filter. There's just so many different things that you can do to the Camaros as far as bolt-on that makes it a very useful and a kind of a car that you maybe want to have. And you know what, you can always return that car back to its normal factory condition after you're finished with it if you so desire. So you don't necessarily have to do mods to it that are going to make it so that you couldn't sell it to somebody that wanted an original car. Okay, number 5 is going to be that we've got a fairly large trunk. You know, believe it or not, the opening to the trunk is small, and you know, it's kind of hard to get things in. You got to be exactly the right size in order to get things into the trunk. But the trunk space itself is actually very large, and you can also fold those seats down. The rear seats in the car can be folded down, and then you've got the entire trunk space plus the back seat space to be able to put stuff in there. And I know there are some guys that take their racing wheels and put them in the back of the vehicle on their way over to the track. So you've got an awful lot of room in the back there for storage. So that would be number 5. And number 6, I would say that when you own a car like this, you've got an awful lot of camaraderie with the other people, you know, in the community. There are lots of Camaro clubs around. There's guys with Corvettes that hang out with the guys with the Corvettes or with the Camaros. It's kind of a Chevy type thing. And you've got lots of things on Facebook and different clubs and things like that that people have started that like these kind of cars. And you know, if you buy a Ford Escort, you're probably not going to be able to find a Ford Escort club. But own a Camaro, and you can definitely find other people that own and love their Camaros and want to hang out with you and talk cars. You know, talk about what they've done to their cars, how they've made out on the track. You know, and that's the other thing. Maybe number 6. Never mind the quarter mile. You can also race these things on the other type of tracks that are around. You know, the road course tracks. So you've got that ability to have fun in that respect. Mind you, a lot of the guys run the V6s and things like that on the road course tracks. The V8s come in a little bit slower because of the extra weight, that sort of thing. But that's an awful lot of fun there as well. And probably number 7 will have to be putting on the thinking cap about that, because I'm just coming up with this stuff just on the fly here. But I would have to say that if you're going to be hanging out with other people and talking cars with them, some of the interior features of the car are kind of nice as well. There are some things that people don't like, and I know I've got a video about the things that piss me off about the Camaro. But I like the seats. The stock seats that are in here are very nice. They're nicely molded. They're maybe not quite as nice as the Recaro. Recaro would be top of the line, but the seats that come standard with the Camaro are quite nice. They're very comfy, nice to sit in. They've got a nice headrest in it. They've got nice embroidery and that sort of stuff there. You know, if you've got an SS or you know, a ZL1 or whatever, you've got that information on the headrest usually, or in the back seat, or the front, the back of the front seat. And they're definitely nice to sit in. The probably, let's see, go with number 7. Mine is a 6-speed, and that's one thing that I really like about this car. I did not want to get an automatic. I like the ability to be able to basically, on the city streets, do a little bit of shifting, do some downshifting, do some rev matching, and do a little bit of fancy manual shifting. Let's face it, anyone can drive an automatic, and I definitely can drive an automatic. Hey, who can't? But it's an awful lot of fun to drive a car that has a nice standard transmission, and this car definitely has that. And it's really nice with a very high horsepower, high torque engine with that manual transmission to have fun. Certainly the automatic will get you faster if you're just plain into racing, strip racing, quarter mile, that sort of thing. Maybe you can clip a half a second off your time or whatever with the automatic transmission and be a lot more consistent. But the manual transmission, it's fun. It's really fun. And you talk about putting some rubber to the pavement, or doing a little bit of a smoke show or something like that. Very easy to do. Number 8 would have to be the and this is where I'm coming up with other stuff here. You can see that my car has got some different ground effects to it. The typical 2010, I really like the ground effects that this car has. We've got the front of the car, and we'll just move in there a little bit closer so that you can see that. But the front of the car has a type of a package that that looks kind of slick. And let's see if we can get right in here. We've got the blacked out front. I guess you could encompass all of this aftermarket stuff that's on this car. We've got the grille here that is blacked out in here. Originally this was chrome, but this has been blacked out here now. Here you can see a little bit of chrome shining through here on this black part here. This needs to be repainted with flat paint, but you've got the nice front of it here, and the nice ground effects package that are on here. And as well, if you come to the side of it here, you can see you've got this ground effects package that's added on here that's not standard, which I really like as being something a little bit different with the car here. I love that. Probably we can go with number 9. I like the hood they put on these things here too. We've got, if you check this out here, it's got this bit of a raised piece in here, and you've got the in the old days they call this, and I guess you could still say that's what that is, a cowl induction. So you've got that nice cowl induction hood on there, and let's see if we can get a better shot of that here. That gives you air intake backflow in there, and it also is raised up a little bit so that you've got a little bit more room for the Magnuson supercharger that's in there. So that's another reason for that little bit of a raised hood on there. Probably, let's see, where are we? Number 8 or number 9? Number 9. We've got the roof on here, and we've got this little little glass moonroof, sunroof, whatever you want to call it here, that flips back, and it actually flips back over the vehicle here, but gives you that little bit of extra air intake there on a hot day. It's nice to have that opened up to be able to do your thing there. And number 10, hey, comes standard with the spoiler. Look at the spoiler here. She's nice. It looks, it's a kind of a low profile spoiler, not too obscene. Like you get into some of these guys with some of these cars and they've pretty much got spoilers on them that are a little bit overkill. But this one here comes stock with this spoiler here, which just makes it look nice. Going for number 11 here on this car. I really like the blacked out lights in here. You can see how this looks kind of black in the daytime here. Same thing here. And I've got my camera on reverse view, so this is not coming out right here. But these, all the lights on here, all the marker lights are blacked out on the car here. Front, back, whatever. And then with the car being blacked out in the front here, this marker light here on the front side here is also blacked out. And then you look at the front of it here. Unless you really come down to where you're able to see anything in the grille here, you really can't see any lights in there. People have asked me whether or not this car has hidden lights, flip out lights, motorized lights or something like that. No, but the grille in there just makes it so that you can't see those lights unless you turn them on in the evening. So makes it real nice, real unique. And then again, we've got going here for maybe number 11. I like the hashtags on this car here. Makes the car unique again, you know. I've yet to see another car out on the street that looks like this. That's the one thing that's nice about these cars, is that you can make them unique the way you like them. Now this car in particular was purchased the way you see it, with the exception of the blackout on the marker lights. But everything else, as far as I can find, were done. Now who they were done by, I'm not sure, but there's a picture on the internet of this car on Camaro 5. If you do a little bit of a search for Ric Flair, R-I-C Flair, and the car looked identical to this when it was originally sold, when it was on the dealer's showroom floor. So it definitely was a very unique car right from its very beginnings. Whoever took this car brand new. Also, the other thing is that there's a little sticker on the hood there that is from the GM factory that you don't see on one of these cars, that indicates that the Magnuson Supercharger was actually installed at the factory when the car was new, which is kind of a rare option there on the SS car. I don't know if it was an actual option or how it got put in there or whatever. I don't know. Maybe somebody that knows more about this car than I do can maybe even comment on it. But anyways, those are some of the things that I absolutely love about my 2010 Supercharged badass Ric Flair white Camaro SS. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you like this, there's that little subscribe button down below. I just started the channel up. Don't have that many subscribers, but I will be putting up a lot more videos. I like these cars. I like talking to people with these cars. We'll be doing some interviews with people that have cars like this, and other types of cars too, not just Camaros. So please subscribe, and then that way if I put up another video, you'll be able to go into your little selector there of channels that you've subscribed to, and you'll see one of my videos pop up there, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun. We hope to maybe do some interviews and talks and chats and things like that with other people that like cars as well. So it's Les here from Badass Speed. Thanks a lot for viewing.